Okay, greetings. Welcome to another episode. This is SME Unleashed. My name is Dr. Edwin Obonyo from Strathmore Center for Value Investing.
Finally.
This is Raymond Mutura from the Center for Research and Organizations Work and Family. I'm pleased to hear doctor has been emphasized.
I'm Robert Yawe from Strathmore Institute.
Wow. I'm Dr. Olga Odede, also joining in as a guest for today. And I'm a marketing strategist and a brand strategist.
Karibu.
Thank you very much.
I guess we will start with the question of what's the difference between marketing and branding?
Marketing is bigger than branding, and I know many people think marketing is about advertising and basically telling people about yourself, but marketing is bigger because it starts with knowing whom your customer is and then thinking of what you can offer them and how they can know about you. So the aspect of marketing actually is bigger. It guides you into whom you can actually target. Then you think of, based on who these people are, then what can I offer them? And actually through marketing, you are able to determine opportunities that are in the market. What are the pain points or what are the problems that customers are going through? Then you can think of, then how can I come up with a product, a service that can be able to address this? When it comes to branding, we are looking into how you want to be seen in the market, how you actually come up with an identity that enables your customers to know who you are, and then how you can be able to come up with the way in which you're going to deliver on your promises to them. And when you stay true to that, then your branding is actually realized. So marketing actually encompasses branding, because branding is an aspect of marketing. Because through marketing, you know who they are, you know what you can offer, you know their pain points. You come up with a plan that guides you, and within the plan is a branding strategy, which helps you to now get yourself known based on how you want to be identified.
That's quite interesting. So marketing helps you to know where the opportunities lie.
Yes.
So it's something I should do before I start coming up with financials and...
Exactly. Actually, you've said it. Many cases, we start with the finances, we start with the products, but we end up asking ourselves, whom do I want to give this product? And then we start looking for finances to do what? You see, once you've known whom your customer is, what the customer wants, then now you think of what you want to give them or the opportunity that exists in the market. Then that is when you start thinking about finances. When we start with the finance, you want finance to do what?
See, that's why all SMEs say the problem is there's no capital.
Access to finance, that's what they call it. Yeah?
No, SMEs say capital. Access to finance, that's high-tech.
Oh, that's too high-tech.
That's too high-tech. That's too high-tech.
So there is all this notion of side hustle and whatnot.
Yes.
So how do you connect those two principles? And I am doing a side hustle. I am what are the terms they use? I'm doing a side hustle.
I don't know. I call it hawking.
Okay, hawking. But there are all these terms everyone uses. Kawaii, side hustle. There are many other terms we use on these things. Yeah, side hustle, juakali, all this. So how do you relate this philosophy of many Kenyans that, people are always saying, I'm doing a side hustle, and then these principles you've raised?
Yes. The side hustle that you start actually shows that you have identified an opportunity somewhere. So it means that in your mind, the entrepreneurial mindset, many people have it, or some people have it, and they can be able to spot an opportunity. And yes, that becomes the side hustle that they decide, I want to do this so that I can combine it with whatever it is. But as you continue working on it, as we always talk when it comes to entrepreneurship, you end up developing a passion and you pursue it. The most important thing is that identification is one step ahead. But you need to get to a point in time that you can actually package it in a way that you can present it easily to this customer group or to this opportunity you have realized. And that is now where your branding will come in. The marketing is basically to help you to fine-tune that opportunity you have seen as do I call it a side hustler? For lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But your marketing understanding will help you to package it so that you can present it effectively to the customers.
Yeah.
Just because I'm thinking what most of us do for when we find a side hustle is Raymond bought a matatu. Then soon after he bought a CX5. So to me, I believe there's an opportunity in going into the matatu business. There was no other mode of defining the opportunity.
Yeah. And I mean, what Robert is trying to say is also, I mean, it's true. I identify the opportunity, but what little science should be there in identifying the opportunity so that it doesn't become copy and paste, which is a common thing.
That is very important. By the way, once we identify an opportunity, we need to be sure that is now in marketing, we talk about marketing research. Or when now you understand that there's an opportunity, you feel that there's an opportunity somewhere, you need to go deep and understand who exactly are these people. Where we now in marketing, we talk about customer research or consumer research, understand them better. So that because Raymond may have come up with this matatu, and he has known whom he is targeting. Yes. You come up with yours and it doesn't work. Yeah. Because you have not understood exactly where you are coming from or whom exactly you are going to serve. And that is where we talk in marketing, we talk about value propositioning. Okay. What exactly do you want to offer these people based on who they are? Because his route may have been whichever, and he's packaged this matatu in a particular way. And he has put the people who can actually speak to the customers. And the customers come in. And you come in with your matatu, you have not identified what these customers really want. I may get into a matatu, it's been some time, and I don't like loud music.
Yes.
But his customers love the loud music, and the people he has put to manage the matatu know that. They've put the right music. They've looked into the matatu and they've actually packaged it well. The deco and all that, and you come in with your matatu.
Me, I'm doing price value.
You think, and that is where we go wrong.
Mine is a price proposition, not a value proposition.
That is where we go wrong. Because
mine is a price proposition.
We talk about value proposition because customers love value. And what I see as value may be different from what he sees as value. And value is not about price. And that is where we get it wrong.
How do we tell the difference?
The difference is the customer is willing. We go back to our research.
Yes.
Understanding the customer. And let's not make it complicated. Let's not make it very expensive to do. It is basically going to listen. Who exactly are here? How do they buy? What kind of items do they buy? How much are they willing to pay? Simple understanding of the market. You know, when we talk about market research, it sounds like a big thing, but it is basically just trying to understand what really goes on, which you can do with very little money, by the way. It doesn't have to cost you much. But know that I've seen this opportunity, but who exactly are they? What do they want? Yes.
I mean, let's go back. Let's say there's this founder who started this business in the 90s.
Yes.
So two. One is a hardware store and another one is a school. All they know is that Kenya is growing, therefore I'll always have children in my school. Kenya is growing, people will build. So the question still becomes, okay, why should I care about all this that you're referring to, market research, value proposition? Because I'm on the number side.
Yes, that is true. But one thing we must appreciate is that things change. Customers change, environments change, needs and wants, preferences change. So as much as it worked for you in the 1990s, a lot has changed. And that's why we need to continually listen and understand what they want so that you come up with what is valuable to them. The hardwares, you can actually go into a place and find a hardware where people go to, but the next one, not far from the other one, there are no people. And they cannot make money because you have not understood your customers. It means connecting with the customer, especially once you develop, you get to know who they are. That enables you to know what they want, enables you to know their preferences. If they have switched to something else, they will tell you when you have that connection. And that is why we also talk about have a profile of your customers. and connect with them, talk to them, get to hear their concerns, get to hear their complaints. Customers complain a lot. And sometimes businesses feel like, that one is troublesome, especially SMEs. Yes, especially SMEs. Then they trash you off.
Yes.
But you are sending away a customer who will also tell another and who will tell another. And therefore, your store or your school will not have people.
Yeah, very interesting. Just try and see if you can help us understand, because I think we've started by asking for a person who is thinking about a business. Dr. Obonyo has raised the issue of he is an established business. What is a kind of a pattern that you would say you would do different types of market researches? Let's assume I started today, or let's assume, and I think many of our businesses, if I was to really do a guess, we're looking at about 20 years of the businesses we've been training. Family businesses are in the second generation. Well, second generation would mean they're a bit older than that, because that means this child already was...
A lot of those we have a
40-year-old business from an SME perspective.
Yes.
So, of course, there is that, and of course, there is this new whole excitement of doing side hustles and being in entrepreneurship. So, of course, again, what you've mentioned, this issue of market research may sound big or a complicated term, but yet it is supposed to be simple. What is the chronology of this, and what would be then you could say the maintenance market research?
I think maybe just to based on Dr. Obonyo's and Raymond's, we are looking more at, this is a business that never started following the rules.
Yes.
I had a small extension somewhere in Buruburu. I started a kindergarten. It's 30 years later. I have a school which starts from kindergarten to
senior
secondary now. And the next generation is saying, we need to now, there's something we didn't do, or the founders didn't do. How would they introduce the marketing concepts today, where they're already out in the market? I think that's, Raymond, I hope I've paraphrased correctly.
The street PhD has paraphrased.
I hear you. Remember, an existing business that may have just started and it worked, and they're coming to a point in time they are realizing maybe we need to have a bit of we don't want to do it the other way, because reality is a lot changes. And even in the education system, a lot has changed. And that is why we have to now get to a point. I'm looking at the second generation who are feeling like, no, we cannot go this way all the time. And I want to agree with them, because initially, sometimes you may start, especially, I would say in the 90s or whichever period, it could work. You do it by instinct, and somehow it works. But as time goes, remember, competition is also here. And they're doing things differently, and customers' preferences are also changing. Regulations have changed, a lot has changed, and the reality is nobody will go to what they don't know. And the fact that it worked, it may not work all the time. And that is the point in time that it is important for us to really realize the need for marketing, doing things differently, and especially looking into how do we enjoy ourselves to our customers, and of course understand them better. Because the current generation, the reality is, even for those children, remember, your school, they may have gone because they were told this is where to go. The current students don't do that. They've got a lot to say. As much as a parent would say you are going to this school, they can come back and tell you I'll not go back. So that is why it is good to know market research starts there. Who exactly are we targeting as a school?
Yes. So what I'm looking at, Dr. is, we've thrown you into one of these businesses.
Yes.
And they say, here we are. Help us to get out of where we have found ourselves. Yeah. What would the journey be like?
Yeah, the journey, I would start with understanding whom you're targeting, by the way, before we do anything else.
Most of them know we educate children.
Yes. Yeah, but they don't know. You see, understanding who are these children. These children is important. They know who their parents are, or their guardians are.
Okay.
That is the beginning.
So they need to do an internal...
Yes, and then they look into themselves as a school and ask themselves, what do we have? Based on the curriculum, based on the customers, based on their expectations, what do we have internally? Internal assessment. Do we have the right teachers? Are we teaching the right curriculum? Okay, maybe curriculum they've already settled on. Do we have what it takes? Do we have the equipment? Do we have, based on what we need to deliver? So that analysis, do we talk about the SWOT analysis? Helps you to understand. And also it is good to know the caliber of customers that we are targeting, who else is targeting them. And that is where we talk about competitor analysis. Understand what the others are also offering. So that we are not actually just looking inwardly into what we have and believing that what we have will always work. The other side could be better. They could be targeting them better. And we look at what are their student numbers, which we can kind of get in a way, even if it is not directly, we can always get. We have got a lot of.
You just talk to the maize guy outside the school.
Yes, they will tell
to
you.
Collect data
and
for you.
How do they do their business? How do the children feel? All those. How do their teachers? How do they all those? So once we understand all this and understand the environment, is when now we come out and come up with our own strategy. What can work for us, because we can't continue without the knowledge of what is going on outside and inward.
Yeah, but there are some typical entrepreneurs who will say, look, as long as I'm the one involved and I'm the one who is meeting the parents as they come, they will love me. And if I continue doing that, it seems to work because I am caring and I am concerned. And therefore, I am the marketing. I am the brand of the institution. So we increasingly are getting people who are entrepreneurs, and then they don't realize that at some point you have to let the system operate, and they decide to remain as a de facto marketer and de facto brand. What's your comment on this?
My comment on that would be, we need to get to a point in time that we let the business run without us, knowing that, remember, we are looking at the business to exist beyond us, and we are not there forever. And even if we are there, we get tired, and also we can't know it all. That is why it is good to get people on board, the right people. Best, remember, we have already said whom we are targeting. The right people with the same values and mindset, and who can propagate what we really are. So that what I am good at, I let you now do it. I can work with you. The coach is here. You can get Robert to help too, so that the people that come on board actually carry on with what we really are. We talk about brand identity. So once we are known as this kind of school, and I can already do it, let me allow this to go around within everybody. So once they embrace it, it will go beyond me. Yeah, okay. But we can't actually do things. We can't be everything. I know that happens a lot with SMEs, especially at the beginning, but we can't go on. That cannot enable continuity.
Let me just, because it's good that we're looking at one sector, and this time it's education. So there's a situation where there's a school that's existed for 30 years.
Yes.
Their fee is about 60,000, 70,000 a term. And they keep complaining that, they can't increase fees. Then a few years ago, somebody opened a school 200 meters away from where they are. And they charge 250,000.
And students go.
And this school lost students.
Yes.
So why is it that you're charging less and you believe you're offering the best, but then the customer is also complaining? You're talking of a customer who complains about the 60, 70,000, but they're not complaining about going to pay 250. Is there a way marketing plays a role in this, or is it just our usual Kenyan peculiarities?
Actually, marketing plays a big role there, because this school had not understood whom it's serving. The assumption was all these people care about is how much to pay.
Yes.
Which is not it. And the moment you know what they actually want or desire or they prefer, that is why that other school actually just got it. And I want to believe students moved from this school to the other.
A number.
And
yes.
It is the same parents who are paying, because once you understand what they want and you package yourself, you position yourself and deliver on it. Because I don't believe that the school that was charging 60, really, as much as they're within the same proximity, they don't look the same. You can't walk into the same classroom and it looks the same. No. the people will be different. We were talking about what is it that they want. Then you package yourself, and that is where now you position yourself and tell yourself, this is the target I'm looking at. And when you walk into my school, you will find A, B, C, D. From the gate, the watchman will welcome you. Not where you will go and start looking for a parking. Then you'll be shown where to park, and your children will get something which they can't get the other side. And that is where we talk about value proposition.
So value, price.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So we are going to go for a short break. This is SME Unleashed. My name is Dr. Edwin Obonyo.
Robert Yawe from Strathmore Institute.
Raymond Mutura from the Center for Research on Organizations, Work and Family, and our guest.
Dr. Olga Odede. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. This is SME Unleashed. My name is Dr. Edwin Obonyo from Strathmore Center for Value Investing.
Robert Yawe from Strathmore Institute.
Raymond Mutura from Croft.
Mutuma, you've changed your name.
Nikuwa stressed hapa.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Olga Odede.
Okay, we are really trying to unpack marketing and branding. We see companies that pick a color when they started maybe 20 years ago, because when they started, that's what felt right. So it could be green, it could be orange. And now they've reached a point, perhaps, maybe the green doesn't work. We're also talking about the names that we picked when we were starting. So you've localized the name to a certain region in Kenya.
Karatina Hardware.
Or Busia School. Yes. And now you want to open another school in another place or, another region, but you're locked in because you picked that name. So I guess what we're asking, and you can help us unpack, is how do we think through these things? The names, the color, the logo. For us who've started and we're already in the business maybe for 5-10 years.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Ari. The reality is, most of the time when we start businesses, we are not so much long-term looking, and we think for now. But in being into the business 5-10 years and what have you, you realize that this may not work, or I need a bit more oomph on my brand. And that is where now we talk about rebranding, and we should not fear this. And even as we think of rebranding, I still take you back into whom are you actually targeting? Because your brand needs to resonate with your customers. Your colors, the name needs to resonate with your customers. And the moment your customers don't feel you, they will never continue going ahead with you. So you will have to look at it again, going back to my marketing research, which I'm saying, don't make it big. Just forget about the name, but just get to understand what can work for me now that I'm expanding. And you can actually change. You can change the color. Look at the customers you are targeting. And we always say that a brand actually is living. And a brand has got human characteristics. And you need, as you walk along, as you continue doing the business and you see the path that your brand is taking or your business is taking, you can, if you are very keen, and especially as you bring in other people on board, especially the younger people, maybe the young members of your family into the business, they will tell you that, this is not it, because a lot of things change. And that is the point in time you have to check. Should I change my color? But before you do that, it is good to understand. I go back into understand your business, understand your customers, understand the environment. So if that green which you chose, you need to ask yourself, why did we choose green? Because I liked it. Because that is what came to my mind. But does it resonate with the business that you're doing? Do you need to go orange? Do you need to go pink? Do you need to go, or some color that is more vibrant based on where you want to take this business? Going back to the names, sometimes we come up with quite localized names, and you realize it can't work as you continue expanding or as you go to other horizons. The Kirinyaga, it was hardware.
Yes.
It can no longer work when you want now to go to, let's say, you've decided, there's an opportunity in Kisumu, because you don't want to take a business that will not be acceptable. That is the point in time that you have to think of rebranding yourself, so that you remain relevant and they accept you. There's something about acceptance, because your customers can refuse you even when you think you have everything. Your hardware is so full, but they look at it and they say, "Ay, Kirinyaga." And you have to understand, how do these people behave? What is their culture? How do they perceive things? How do they relate with some of these aspects, including names, by the way? That is why it is very important to choose a name that can be versatile enough to enable you to jump into any other territories.
Okay. So so we shouldn't panic, because I know Mutura's kids will most likely say that the Mutura Enterprises is legacy. Our father started the business.
Of course.
So the name cannot, it's the legacy of the business.
That is thinking inwardly. Remember, in marketing, you need to think about them, because they're the ones bringing business to us.
It's not us.
It is not us. And then that is why the Mutura Enterprises can work for now, because Mutura is within his vicinity. But the moment the children come in and they want to take it to Mombasa, they will change that enterprise, that name. And we should not be afraid to change, as long as we do it right. But also there are other ways, because we are saying if Mutura works here and we need to capture the opportunity in Mombasa, in Kisumu, be free to think of another direction. Get a more versatile name which can go all over, and leave your Mutura to be the holding.
Yeah, especially since I know one will be Mutura Green Grocers.
Yes,
it's very confusing.
Mutura Green Grocers can remain where it is doing a good business. But you can decide to come up with other brands that can be more versatile, and you allow Mutura to be the holding company.
The holding company, literally.
Okay, let's look at is there a science around this thing of colors, of sizes? What is the science? Because sometimes because some of us are very technical, so we will remain with Mutura Enterprise and we'll say we don't care. You either like the brand or not. But what is normally the science behind it? Because I remember, in fact, at some point when I saw once SBS rebranding, yes. There were all sorts of ideas. The logo should be this. The logo, and my daughter now is doing communication. So you have a logo that is this, a logo that is black and white. It cannot go with this color because I don't know what is there any science behind this? I guess you've even done a PhD on it, and I'm asking an obvious question, but deconstruct it for me and Edwin, and especially Yawe, who is just so technical. As long as you move, we move. We don't need any branding.
Yeah.
Mutura Green Grocers.
Yes.
And of course, like, for example, even locally, Keringet rebranded. Of course, there's conversations about whether the new brand is better than the old one. We always have those conversations around that. I guess that ties into Raymond's question.
Yes. Raymond is asking about the colors. Actually, when you look into colors, they have got meanings, and this what they denote. And when we come to branding and we are coming up with a brand identity, colors play a very important role. And that is where now we engage, and you say, I like green because it is what is in my mind. And then we go back and ask, what does green actually mean? What does it denote? And based on where we are going, will it still work? So it is a science, but marketing is both a science and an art because of the creativity part that comes in it. It can be this color, but how do we put it together? And this color and this sign, what does this sign mean? What does this arrow mean? When I put an arrow, when I put a heart, when I put What are all these have got meanings that by the time you actually decide on it, and that's why it is good to get a brand strategist. It doesn't have to cost you much, but just to help you understand all of this, especially as you want now to grow to other horizons.
So what is a brand specialist doing? Is it a psychology? Because we are saying we are targeting the customer.
Yes.
So we are trying to pass the value to the customer. So we are trying to talk with the colors to the customer. Is it the psychology of what is behind it? Because maybe it is we are playing with the psychology of the customers, or what is it?
Witchcraft.
Part that, because remember, customers buy for many reasons. Sometimes the value they see is just the status of connecting with your business, or holding maybe your card, whatever it is. So marketing helps you to do that connection, and that is why we always say start with the customer, because he's the one going to bring the business. The money will not flow when it is not there. And then when we talk about value, because you brought it up, value is not about price. Many people think if I charge low, they will actually buy, or they will come, and they will always come to my school, they'll always come to my business. No. Value is more than price. Value is what is it that you are giving them, and how is the environment, and how do you give it to them? How do you connect with them? How do you relate with them? How do they find your area of operation, or where they interact with your business? So because customer is actually looking for experience in real sense, even when they just go to a hardware shop. It is not just that I want to buy nuts and bolts and I go pick at a cheap price. Whom am I buying from? Relationship. And that is why at some point in time you do relationship marketing. So because the moment you know your customer well and you connect well, the customer keeps coming. The customer talks well about you. And that's why you need to know, what does this customer want? What do they? It is bolts and nuts, but it is not all about that. And that's why they are willing to pay a little more for bolts and nuts from this hardware, because of the connection, because they are of the atmosphere, because of how you relate with them, than buy from the other person.
And the colors.
And the colors now, I like that. When you talk about those colors, they denote something. And that is why as we go into branding our businesses or coming up with a brand, we get to understand what colors can work for these people and what does this color mean. So colors are not just colors. When you come to Strathmore, you see the blue. It is not just blue, navy blue. Or do you call it?
You know now.
So there's something also, about it.
Every department now has a different color.
Yes.
But actually, just as we unpack value and price, people will say Kenyans are price sensitive. Of course, they're trying to say that we value price. I don't know if you can also unpack that in conjunction with what you're saying about value, because it has already now been made like a statement of fact.
Yeah. No, but I think just to add to that, I believe, unfortunately, we look at it one way. We are price sensitive both ways. I can be price sensitive to see whether it's low enough, or I could be also price sensitive to see whether it's high enough. I walked into a restaurant on Friday,
yes.
And when I looked through the menu, I saw drinks going for 60,000 shillings.
Yes, and people buy them.
And I know across the street there's a guy selling changa at 15 bob.
And you will
and both were full.
Yes.
No, he's suggesting. He's not saying he does. There's no evidence.
Daktari has just told us, get to know the environment. So I was looking at the environment of the two.
That is 60,000 a drink.
60,000 shillings.
It can happen. I think the other time we saw, I don't know, it was some prominent person in Kenya who bought, I don't know, birthday, how many thousands of shillings of a drink. So yes. It happens. So when we talk about value, remember, the customer is looking at how much am I paying and what am I getting? And how am I getting it? And where am I getting it? And the environment around where I'm getting it. So customer comes to buy, but at the back, they're looking at the experience.
Yes.
What went on? How did I, how was I treated? And how does the place look like? And that is why, yes, customers, we can say Kenyans are price sensitive, but I would say it is relative, depending on whom you are targeting. Even that person who does not want to pay much doesn't want to go to a dingy place, by the way. They don't want. Even that changa for whatever amount, I don't think they want to take it under tunnel just because. So we
they like to take it next to the river.
Some
preferably with comfortable drums and some water lilies.
That is true. They have their way of ensuring the experience they get at that small amount is still acceptable to them. Because human beings have got, how low can I go? How far can I not go? And because customers are different, we talk about segmenting your market, knowing whom you are actually targeting. Once you know who they are, then the value they're looking out for is not about how much you're going to charge, but how they're going to experience this. And that is why now those colors of yours, those symbols of yours, the people whom are delivering this value, to them, should also be well trained so that they do it right. So yes, money, they are price sensitive, but we have got different categories. Somebody can buy it at 500, another one at 200, another one at 50,000, but you now package it differently. But that one buying it at 50,000, there's much more he's looking out for, not just that. And that is what we need to gauge. So the psychology in marketing also comes in.
Okay. Thank you for, at least now, our listeners will be able to understand branding very well now. Just to piggyback onto the marketing conversation. So we've done our market research. So we started 10 years ago. We've come back, done our market research, gotten our customer profile, gotten to know who our customer is and what their value we want to, what their value they'll gain. So we have that. So what's next? So we've gone back and done this. What's next?
Now we go into our business. Ask ourselves. So what was our name? Mutura Enterprises.
Green Grocers.
Yes. And we are saying the customers we are targeting, they are diverse. And maybe because it is green grocers, you could be having organic goods. And Mutura is still there. And Mutura himself is there. We go back into, can this still work for us? That is now where we are now talking to ourselves with the help of others, and also just as a family, or maybe with other people, or maybe with an expert, somebody who can help us see further. Because we are saying we have seen that we started as Mutura, it has worked for us. We have actually attracted diverse customer groups, and some of them look out for our organic products, which we bring. But the connection, so we are saying we want to grow it, we want to make it bigger. And also to resonate with these customers, some of them come in because of what we have. But is the atmosphere what they should get? And that is where now we get back and ask ourselves, Mutura, because now there's some Wazungus who also even buy from his grocery. He was somewhere in, I think, where were you, by the way? Lower Kabete, somewhere, Kangemi. Yes, and he's able to attract some of those people.
Now he's at Sarit Center.
Yes, now he's moved to Sarit Center. That is when you realize that this Mutura cannot work. This brand name, because of the customers who come in and you look at it, remember your brand name should be easy to pronounce to the customers that are actually dealing with you. They should not struggle with Mutura, especially now that
Mutura is quite Mutura.
Yeah, so that is where now you engage yourself and you agree to unpack. You agree to resonate more with the customer than just thinking about you. Because many cases we get it wrong because we insist on, this is what I want. This is legacy. This is what. Allow yourself to be more versatile and be guided so that you get a brand name that can resonate with your customers.
How do you make sure you get, you see these entrepreneurs are a bit of a kichwa. How do we get them to be guided? How do they allow themselves to be guided? Because eventually when you say, okay, let's get somebody, and then they see a bill of 100K there for, I don't know,
Just
What are we,
talking.
just talking
exploratory
or
fee.
getting some colors together. They say, yeah, partner, hey, how do you get them to start thinking about this?
Yes, I think the most important thing is to engage them, because now you know from maybe by the time you're bringing in these people, we know that we need to help them move to another level, and we need them to look into what others have done, because around them there could be other businesses which are not Mutura, and could be seeing, it could even be having better people going in, and they are able to get more customers, and of course in the long run. So it is them opening up their minds, engaging them. It's about talking with people.
Mindset.
Yes, it is about the mindset, by the way. I like that. It's about the mindset. Change their mindset so that they can be able to see differently, and let them know that they can grow just like that other one. And let them know that it is not about what we want, but it is about what they want. And when we are able to put them together and they agree to listen, then we take them through what it will take them, how they can be able to change and rebrand and be better and look better. And rebranding, we are not just talking about, touch the color, touch the name. It is the whole place, by the way. The moment we decide to rebrand ourselves, we have to even look into within that, the grocery which you are now holding. We are saying, is this space enough? Or how do we now reorganize it so that it can actually resonate with those customers that are already coming in? And the reality is, done well, you will see a difference, and your customers will tell you, and they'll tell others. So that color, and then we put it, and how we organize the place, how we rearrange the place, how we train our people will now help in our branding, because that is what we'll be known for.
Yes. And like Daktari said, hire a twigger. Somebody who can see far.
Yes.
No, that's not what she said.
That's what she said.
In other words.
In other words. Well,
In other words.
yes.
Okay, we are going for another short break. This is SME Unleashed. My name is Dr. Edwin Obonyo
From Robert Yawe from Strathmore Institute.
Raymond Mutura from Mutura Enterprises.
And I'm Dr. Olga Odede, brand strategist, SBS.
Okay, we are back after the short break. This is SME Unleashed. My name is Dr. Edwin Obonyo from Strathmore Center for Value Investing.
Oh, good. Now you finished.
Yeah.
Okay. Robert Yawe from Strathmore Institute.
Raymond Mutura from the Center of Research and Organizations Work and Family. And in this show, Mutura Enterprise, MD.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Olga Odede, the brand
In this
strategist.
episode, not in this show.
Yes,
Be
yes.
very categorical. So this
Thank
final
you.
part, Daktari, we want to talk more about marketing strategy and repeat customers. One of the things, we had a breakfast recently, which you are a part of our panel with restaurants, and one of the things we were highlighting for a whole section was, do you know who your customer is? Because
Anaitwa cash.
Anaitwa Cash, right? And then we also
Yes, that's everybody. That's the biggest customer.
Because they don't know them.
because they don't know the names of the others. So and we were saying, we even brought up the 80-20 rule, which is 80% of your business is coming from 20% of your customers. So
It's called the
Pareto rule, yes. So I guess, Dr. start us off with how marketing strategy now links to, after knowing our customers, how we can ensure they are repeat, and the ones who are repeat, how do we ensure they don't go anywhere?
Thank you very much. Yeah, marketing strategy is actually the guideline to what you're going to do in your business. And many cases, actually, for the small businesses, they don't look into this. But really, it is good to put it down so that it guides what you do. And you don't have to make it complicated in real sense. Because the marketing strategy basically helps you to understand how exactly am I going to deliver on my marketing, how exactly am I going to connect with my customers to enable me get better value for them and from them. Remember, the value should also come to you as the owner of the business, even as the customer gets value as they buy your products.
So I get value by price.
You get value by, in the long run, your profitability and your success.
Profitability.
And your
yes.
success
Okay.
will be your value.
Yes. Okay.
If you treat the customer well. So we talk about marketing strategy, but before we go to this marketing strategy, I want to talk about brand strategy. Brand strategy is part of the marketing strategy. The marketing strategy is bigger because it looks into the entire marketing business, the entire organization, what you are offering, your products, your pricing, your promotions, how you are going to reach your customers and all that. And then the branding is an aspect that comes in there because it is how are you going to be seen? How will you be known? So the marketing strategy actually helps you to understand. We've talked about understanding the customer, understanding the environment, understanding the competition, understanding, the political, the pestle factors. You must know this. In many cases, we do them even for the small business, but not really going deeper. But it is important to do that. Once we have done that, we do what is called brand audit, where now we look inwardly into the business. We audit our brand as a business. Remember, you have your corporate brand, or you have your organization. I would call it like that. That is already a brand if you can put it and ensure that it goes there. So,
and of course, we have to ensure that, because for most of our listeners, they may not say this is theory. So, of course, after understanding all this, it's about also practicability element, because one of the biggest issues we may face, Dr. is all these things Dr. is saying, it's theory.
I think on that and where she was going was, Dr. was going, is that audit is important.
Yes.
So that somebody else comes to tell you what the market thinks of you.
Exactly.
And it's that story again of don't stop looking inwards all the time. Look in the mirror and you say, I'm the fancy, I'm the most beautiful, handsome one in this land. And you never go out.
The fairest of them all.
The fairest of them all. But that is for Ambi and Mercury. Thing is. Yes.
Before you were born,
Before you were born.
Right.
The three of us are fine with the analogy. You're the one who is having a...
Also of Cinderella. Ask your guys of Cinderella.
Cinderella. Yes,
Cinderella
yes.
That's why we know.
So I think I think where you're going, it's very important.
Yes.
Like Dr. Obonyo is saying is, what would it really actually cost me to get
even before
a brand audit?
Even before the cost, I think the principles are critical. That you have to have an overall marketing strategy. Behind the marketing strategy, a sub of it is a brand.
Yes.
Yes.
But
T-shirts.
the challenge, is it t-shirts?
No.
T-shirts.
For me, I see, when I hear brand, I see colors.
And umbrellas.
You see, me, I see colors. Now we have changed from blue to light blue.
Yes.
But I think the critical thing is to help people understand that even if these terms are used so big,
They're not
even
as
if you're not doing, even if you think you're not doing marketing research, you're doing it.
You are doing it. Actually, you do.
You
are
actually
doing
do it. It's just that we are giving names,
It
and that's
is
why.
not structured.
Yes, it's not structured.
Yes.
And I think what we are trying to do with our SMEs is to get them to try and get to understand the philosophy
Structure.
and the science of how things are.
Yes.
So that they are doing it, but now don't do it Q-do-tho.
Yes.
And which other word can we use?
That's already, we can't get lower than that.
Okay,
Yes.
carry on. So
Yes.
marketing strategy,
Yes.
brand.
Yes. So within the marketing strategy, we start with the product strategy. Remember, you already know what your customers are and what they want. And what they are coming to buy, which will connect you with them, is the product. When we talked about value proposition, it is that product. What are you offering them? So you start with the product itself and ask yourself, yes, from your enterprises, Mutura Enterprises. He has got all this. He has got the organic, maybe vegetables, you name them. And he now can look into how do I package these products, because I've realized that the customers that buy from me are diverse and they keep complaining because of the look and feel. They get in here, or they bump onto this, they bump onto that. So you look into how do I take care of this. So look at the products, decide I want to pack them in a particular way. You don't have to make it expensive, by the way. Just ensure that they are the good products that they're looking out for, well packaged, and then you look at the pricing. The price does not have to be low, and I go back there again once you have determined who actually buys. And because they care about your organic vegetables and what have you, they will buy. So that is why you shall have picked that from the market when you're doing your research. Then look into how am I going to promote, because let them know. No, don't say that they already know. They will know that we are here. We don't have to do
So there's brand and there's promotion.
Yes, brand, we've not even got, yes, the brand is different. So the promotion is how we are letting them know that we are here and this is how we are offering. You know, and that is where you have to think. You don't have to do a billboard in the first case. You don't have to go to the radio. You look at better, easy ways, because we're looking at SMEs. You don't want to spend so much, but we are saying you can use social media. Nowadays, social media is a buzz. You can look at what can work for me. Do I open a Facebook account? Do I come up with a website for my business? Because even website sounds big, but it is important, because if your clientele may actually look out for you there, then develop one. Why not? And then you think of easy ways, not so expensive ways of still reaching out. And I like storytelling, especially for the kind of your business. Those who have actually interacted with your business and or they've interacted with your brand and they talk well about you, your loyal customers whom you have connected well with, they can also spread the word. People look at reviews. And that is why we are saying we can't leave out this part of marketing. Go digital, because it sounds big, it sounds like it is not, but that is where people are at. That is about promotions. And then you look at how do I deliver? What is the look and feel of where the customers are coming to buy their vegetables? And you can decide to reorganize this place altogether so that, and you bring in trolleys, let them buy and then ferry their items there. So that gives you a different look again. So when we talk about you rebranding yourself, does not always just start and stop with your name
and colors.
And colors. You can even decide to do initials so that it is not
They remove the Mutura, it becomes MR.
Yes.
Mutura.
Yes.
No,
Mutura.
that's still there.
No.
He's saying initials.
You
She's
can
talking
decide
about
to
initials.
do initials, by the way.
Yes,
So
so
that
it's
is
MR.
a discussion that you can
MTR.
have. Something like that. So that
sounds
it
like
still
a tax
stands
thing.
out.
ETR.
I like it, yeah.
So,
Yes.
So I guess one of the things as you've just spoke about, and most SMEs will have this in their mind, is return on marketing investment.
Yes.
ROMI. And a lot of SMEs struggle with that. Meaning, why should I put this money into marketing while I can put it into
Promotion.
buying
Another
more
product.
products? Oh, yes.
But you have a t-shirt.
And it's a war, because ideally they think if I put the 1 shilling now, it should bring the 2 shillings tomorrow. While in essence, sometimes the 2 shillings can come maybe 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line. So how do we educate that there is that importance?
Yes, actually marketing, investing in marketing, you may not get the results now. And that is one thing we have all to accept. Even for the SMEs, they need to know that. And we let them know that it is time. Because remember, you are trying to enjoy yourself to the customer, and the customer will not buy vegetables every day so that you get your profits now, or you get to recover from the investment of reworking or redoing your store. So yes, even the store, they're coming up with maybe compartments that you didn't have. They will not come now. So we need to get to a point where even for the SMEs, they need to look into the long term, so that we are not so much looking at the short term. That is actually the limitation that we have when it comes to marketing and small businesses not seeing the essence of marketing, because they're looking at it now. And they're saying in the next month, if I don't get money, this is lost money. But they need to know that you are doing it for for you to look at the long term. What will it do for me then? And it is still good to think about how long do I think I can get it. It is good to get to that point in time, because you also, as a business, you can also look at when you understand, and bigger organizations do that even better because they're able to really work so much on do their research well and know the market share and what have you. But for the small business, we need to know that it will not bring in money now, but in the long run, you will be all smiles. The reality is your customers will come more, they'll talk about you, they will refer others to you, and the money will come back in the near future.
I think just to use that and what Dr. Obonyo was saying earlier is about things like your customer relationship management systems. And I believe today, whatever tools are available to the bidcos are today available
exactly
to Mutura Enterprises.
Exactly.
It's only that Mutura might not understand how to interpret the data and the information that is sitting even just within the organization.
True.
A simple point of sale system, which allows you to then maybe piggyback on it, a loyalty system, then that allows you to get to know whether your marketing is actually having an impact.
Exactly.
Because you know that Dr. Obonyo has only been coming to have tea at your restaurant at the end of the month when he's loaded, you know? So if you do some level of marketing, you improve the place, or you notify him, or you bring in something different, then you notice that he's now coming 3 times a month.
Yes.
Then you can now see the return
On investment.
on your investment. But if you don't have data, all of it becomes speculative, and I think it's called rumor mongering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe the bigger, and I even didn't know. That's why they give us royalty cards.
Yes.
I had never thought. I thought it is so I get points.
No. The points, actually, what they are doing, they're actually paying you for your data.
They pay me for the data.
Yes,
with
they're
some
paying you for your
points.
data. And I'll tell you how high it gets.
Yeah.
Carrefour at times will give me 1,000 shillings worth of bonus credits.
Yes.
Oh, you mean you're a sonko?
No, you see, it all depends. You're not loyal. I am loyal.
Yes.
But he goes and every day and buys water and things like that.
No, actually, it's interesting because the other time I did not go for 2 weeks.
They sent
They
you an
prompted you.
I
SMS.
actually got a notification.
Yes.
Interesting. So you go regularly.
I go.
You don't necessarily buy big things, but you go regularly.
Yes.
So what this data does is that they say, hey, this guy
He
is
comes-
loyal to
Yes.
us. So I think it's not really that there is no data. I don't know, and maybe you can help us to
interpreting
understand. The interpreting and the need to think I can have a data-driven organization.
Yes.
Where is that gap of our data-driven? And I know you're a guru of data, so you can say something, then Dr. can say something.
It's a mindset issue. If you believe that you're the authority
Yeah.
in making decisions in your business, then it doesn't matter how much I try to get you to go data
That
driven.
is true. That's
But the minute you acknowledge that I am no longer
the authority.
The go-to.
the guru as far as this business is concerned, then you start becoming more open to data. And data tells you a lot, tells you what's not moving. And all of that is there. This is data. I used to do an accounting system in the 90s called Dark Easy. And it generated very in-depth reports. So I sometimes look at, I know most SMEs are using things like QuickBooks, Zoho, Odoo. Intuit is QuickBooks. Yes, that's the name of you're confusing the product and the organization. Okay. So all of this have a reach, because once you collect your data right, getting reports, getting insights is very simple. But you have to have a mindset of listening to the data. If you don't listen to the data, it doesn't matter how much data I collect.
Actually, that is so true. And there's a lot of data you can collect from your customers if you allow yourself to open up.
Yes.
And to be guided. Because it helps you, like for the loyalty cards, they work miracles.
Yes.
Because it is major. Actually, the company gains more than the customer. because they're able to track and see what you buy, where you buy, how often, and they can upsell to you. They will tell you, oh, by the way, we brought in this, because they have seen your purchase behavior, the kind of things that you buy, and that helps you also to connect. And they'll tell you, as you come, because this is new, we will give you this off. So that is part of marketing. And it goes back to the same mindset. Is the business owner willing and ready to be guided?
Yeah, I think we need another session
By
on
the data.
Yeah.
Not guided by his friend at the
Yes.
local.
So we need a data-driven decision making as one of our sessions. Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I was not when I was
But
away.
I think we did, because the other webinar we did with that Ocheche did, he did cover a bit into that. So we have a challenge as a nation of not wanting to listen or collect data. And I'll tell you, Carrefour, for example, will never send me anything on alcohol, because they know at no time have I ever bought.
That is
Yes, there are two other supermarkets for which I have their loyalty cards. On Fridays, they're always sending me offers for alcohol. So either somebody in my home has been going to buy.
It takes changa.
Yeah.
For 15 shillings.
And that one does not have a loyalty system. I need to talk to her nicely. I need to get to know my volume of consumption. But yes, but you're right, Raymond. I think a lot of SMEs need to understand that they are sitting on a lot of rich data.
Yes.
They need to just move away, one, from this customer called cash.
Yes.
And they need to know their customer by name,
Yes.
so that you also know what their baskets contain.
Yes.
What do I normally buy? What do I put into my basket? You can also then compare various baskets. And you note that almost everyone who buys X buys Y.
Yes.
So you start looking for how do you bundle. And then that's data that you as a business owner can also give your suppliers. And you tell your suppliers, you know what? If the two of you could come together, bundle your product, and give me a lower price, all of you will increase your volume.
Yes.
Yes.
And finally, as we are almost finishing the episode, Dr. Is it okay to say no to customers? What I mean is, after you've done your marketing strategy and you've profiled your customer, are we allowed to say, okay, this is who I'll target because this is my segment and this isn't? And so, because one of the biggest problems, of course, we have with SMEs is they want everyone, because everyone might bring the money. But of course, once you collect the data, you'll be able to see which segment matters most. So should I say no?
Definitely, you have to decide whom you want to target. You can never impress everybody. You can never be there for everybody. And that is why we segment and say, this is the customer group I want to focus on. And that means when you decide to focus on 1 and 2, it means 3, 4, and 5. They may still buy, but they're not the main people you are focusing on. And therefore, to keep it short, you can say no. No, not telling them don't come, but the way you deliver and the products you bring and how you communicate does not resonate with them. They will be the outliers in research. Yes, but you are focusing on these people.
1 and 2.
Yes. And therefore it means the products you come up with, the way you deliver, the way you communicate, your messaging, the whole everything actually is for these two. Later on, you can decide, now I have the capability and the capacity, I can then target 3. Because of, we talked about understanding ourselves. If you know that, yes, they can still buy, but I can't speak to them, I can't connect with them so well because I'm challenged in this way, because you don't have all the resources. Then when you are now ready, you go to 3. And then you look at what then can I do differently for them. Then I bring the sparkling water. For
us, us sparkling water guys.
Just on the same, Edwin, it's, and that's what we need to understand. And the good thing we have is most of the people we are talking to have been in business for a long time.
Yes.
So really they have the data to tell them who are truly their customers.
Yes.
Because just by looking at who buys most from you, more frequently, who's growing in business, that already tells you who you should target. Now the question becomes, are you willing to accept that 1, 2 are your target customers and not 6.
Yes.
Just because you like 6
does not make them
your
better
target
customers.
customer.
Yes.
Your target customer has been defined
Yes.
by what your branding has been,
Exactly.
what value you've been offering. So zero in on 1 and 2 and stop chasing
everybody.
Okay. This is the end of the episode. Daktari, any last remarks?
Know your customer.
Know your customer.
Know your customer.
This is SME Unleashed. My name is Dr. Edwin Obonyo from Strathmore Center for Value Investing.
I'm Robert Yawe from Strathmore Institute.
Raymond Mutura from the Center for Research and Organizations Work and Family. And in this episode, I have been MD Mutura Enterprises that has just been rebranded to MITS Enterprises.
It's called
You
MTN.
never told us where to find you.
Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Olga Odede. You'll find me at SBS. Yes.
Yes.
people
We'll
will
bring.
not know
We'll,
Strathmore Business School.
it's called SUBS now. Strathmore University Business School.
Yes,
Don't
most
forget.
welcome.
Is that
Thank you.
subs or subs?
They'll tell us better. I
As
guess
in subscriptions.
so. It's over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
invite you again for digital marketing episode.